to Brewing Success, where growth is the mission, change is the reward, and progress is the goal. I am your host, Andrea Gebhardt. I'm a former educator turned passionate entrepreneur whose desire to create impact has never wavered. I've spent the last decade teaching, mentoring, and coaching people on how to create success in their lives and businesses with proven strategies and systems that not only bring about change, but big results. When it comes down to it, teaching is my specialty, leadership is my jam, and inspiring you to live a bigger, fuller life is what I'm all about. This podcast will give you the knowledge and tools you need to brew success in almost any area of your life. You're going to walk away each week feeling inspired, motivated, and ready to step outside your comfort zone and into the next level of who you're meant to be. Now let's get into today's episode. Today we're going to be talking about how and why you need to stop what you're doing and really focus on elevating your level of success. And I do want to say, I'm going to totally shout out this podcast and a really cool tool and resource that I just created to go along with the podcast. So if you want to elevate your success as a leader, as an entrepreneur, as somebody who's just looking to, be more successful in every aspect of their life, I have something for you. So I actually created a mentoring, a leadership mentoring journal for the ABCs of leadership. So if you've been following along for a while, if you're brand new to the podcast, you have heard, or maybe you've started to hear of it as it's gaining popularity, the ABCs of leadership. And so I created a mentoring journal to go along with that, actively mentor you a whole other level deeper on those specific components of leadership. And the journal has been out now for a couple of weeks. A handful of people have their hands on it. A handful of people are already implementing it for themselves. I'm getting wildly awesome feedback. People are grabbing it for their teams and doing it together. And so if you're wanting to elevate your success, definitely head over to the website. Head over to Amazon, ABCs of Leadership. You'll see it. We'll have it linked here, and it's linked on the website and everywhere else. But get your hands on that journal because it is going to take your success to the next level, your leadership to the next level. And that's what we're talking about today here, is elevating your level of success. So let me just say to you, if you are kind of feeling like you're not where you thought you would be at this point in the year, or you didn't make the progress that you anticipated for yourself, then I'm glad you're here because this episode really is for you. I've spent the last 10 years working with people, teams, organizations, corporations, schools, teachers, administrators in a mentoring and or leadership capacity. And what I've come to find is that regardless of the size of the organization or company, background and or educational / financial status of the individual, they all have similar things in common. And it's mostly that they rely on default thinking and doing. And most of us do. So let me just tell you, default thinking is just that natural state of how you think. It's pretty much how you're programmed. It's pretty much how you're wired. And if you've been on some form of a growth journey or you've been working on yourself, you have been actively working to try to change that default thinking, to change those default actions. And, it's funny because most of us rely on that default setting for ourselves. And if you think about even technology, the default settings are the basic settings. It's like the basic standard settings on a device. That's why we add apps and widgets and, we update things to enhance the experience and to go beyond the default settings so that our device works better, is smarter, is more cutting edge. And we have to remember to do that with ourselves too. Again, most people rely on this default thinking and doing. Most of us do. This is normal. But the challenge is the reality and in knowing and being aware of the fact that if we want different in life, if we want more, if we want to evolve, if we want to elevate and move the perpetual needle, well, then default anything isn't going to cut it. We have to show up different, think different, speak different, act different, ultimately, if we want different. I want you to know that who you are has gotten you to where you are. The next level in life is going to require another level of you, another level of action, another set of thoughts, another set of beliefs, emotions. And I know it sounds easy, like you can just flip a switch and bam, elevation and progress, but it's not that simple. It's actually a combination of knowing and doing something about it. Not once, but many times. Day after day, time after time. Consistency is the only thing that can concrete this new way of showing up as your new default level. And I love this idea. I love this idea that we as humans are, I don't even know if this is like a word, but upgradable. We are upgradable. We have the ability to upgrade our systems, our software, our mindsets, our thinking, our everything all the time to allow us to grow and evolve and move into those next levels. What's crazy is that most people choose not to. All too often, I see people, here's what happens, okay? I see people reach a certain level of success, and then they rest on that success. They rest on that version of themselves. Time passes, and then they wonder why they're basically either in the same place a year, 2, 3 years later, if not actually doing worse than they were before. This is when people begin to look at all of the external factors for why they are not making progress, why their incomes aren't changing, why the level of their progress actually begins to shrink and feels all the more fleeting. And what they do is they look externally and they begin to blame inflation, blame the economy, blame the political status of the world, their boss, their team, their colleagues, their spouse, their busy lives. But the crazy thing is that all of those external elements existed when they began pursuing their dreams, chasing their goals, working in their purpose. Think about that for yourself. Think about how your life was probably in a state of turmoil, which is what led you to want to change something, right? Your health was in a state of distress, so you wanted to adopt a healthier lifestyle and lose weight and start exercising and go to the gym and become a fit, healthier person. Your finances were in turmoil. So you changed the way you spent money and you changed the way you thought about money and you changed your relationship with money and you stopped wasting money and started investing money and you changed that situation for yourself. You know, I think about my own personal journey when I was feeling so stuck and so defeated by life, you know, being a full-time administrator, drowning in student loan debt, raising 3 babies, trying to climb that ladder while being held down by just so many different, you know, anchors in my life, and how I wanted to change that. All those external factors existed, and they existed for you too. In fact, I'm willing to bet that a lot of the same challenges you once dealt with are probably still very prevalent in your life, because it's the challenges that change us, but the challenges never change. Let me say that again. That it's the challenges that change us, right? I say that out loud when we're in a workout class, we're in a fitness class, and we're doing something really hard and it burns and everybody's uncomfortable. And I'm like, ladies, if it doesn't challenge us, it doesn't change us. It's like my warrior woman cry to like motivate everybody to keep going. But the challenges never change, meaning we're going to run into the same challenges over and over and over. It never gets easier. We just get better. We just develop and equip ourselves, and we have the ability to overcome those things with a little bit more ease, with a little bit more grace, with a little bit more agility. You see, what people need to do is they need to look inward. What changed in me? What did I do differently to get where I am? And I want you to think about that for yourself. What did you do differently? What changed in you that got you to where you are? And if you're not on that continuum of growth, if you are stagnant, if you have become complacent, if you feel stuck, if you feel like you're in a rut and things are not progressing like you thought they would, like you anticipated, then what has changed since then? What did you stop doing? How did your level of frequency and consistency change? Because 9 times out of 10, when somebody comes to me and they're like, I need advice, I need counsel, I need coaching, I'm not progressing, I'm not having the success I thought I'd be having, and I listen and they want to blame this, that, and the other, and I stop them and I say, what changed about you? Take a look to when you first got started. What were you doing then that you're not doing now? How were you showing up then that you're not showing up in that way now? What were you thinking? What were you learning? What were you chasing? What were you pursuing that you are no longer in pursuit of now? Something changed, and it changed within you. Chances are the changes that we experience are the direct result of what you changed and how you changed. Meaning that, you are also the solution to the problem you are currently facing. In fact, always remember that you are always the solution to your biggest problem. That is like a double-edged sword because it's a relief to hear that we are the solution to our biggest problem, meaning we have the power to fix, to change, to elevate, to do it all. But it also means we are responsible for the solutions that we're seeking. And we really live in a world that has continued to perpetuate this idea that it's everybody else's fault. And it's not. I could go on a tangent for days and prove this idea over and over and over, but I'm not, because I want you to understand that the reason why we struggle with this is because it's hard to look inward, to accept responsibility, to become aware, to realize where we are is the cumulative result of tiny decisions we made daily over the course of time. Where you are, good, bad, or indifferent, is a result of the cumulative result of the tiny decisions that you have made daily over the course of time. It's almost like a parallel universe. We get there, we get where we're going based on how we showed up, and we leave that spot or we lose that spot based on how we show up. It's so interesting, right? It's so interesting that a change in actions, thoughts, and beliefs can propel us, and a change in thoughts and actions and beliefs can push us back. How is that the case? We know how it is, but that's truly what it is. So what needs to happen? How does one stop this perpetual cycle that feeds into the lies we tell ourselves about what we're capable of and what we deserve? It's awareness, which is why we are having this conversation. You cannot change what you are not aware of, which is why when it comes to personal growth and development, awareness is everything. You may or may not have ever thought of the fact that you have more control over your life than you actually realize, and that a change in your thoughts and actions and beliefs can propel you forward or push you back, which is why we have to guard our mindsets. We have to guard our energy. We have to nurture our belief system. That's why it's so important for us to dial it in those areas. So if you want to evolve and reinvent yourself and elevate your level of success, well, again, that is going to require an elevation of who you currently are and what you are currently doing to get where you want to go. New levels require new levels. New levels of beliefs, new levels of thoughts, new levels of actions, requires new learning, new attempts, willingness to fail forward, willingness to learn and adapt and grow. Most people are quick to whine when things aren't going well and slow to work for the changes within themselves that are required. Let me just say this to you because I really want it to sink in and I want you to remember it forever. That next level of your business, that next level of your leadership, of success, of your journey, only you have the ability to unlock that. And it's going to take more than what you are, more than who you are, and more than what you're currently doing at this moment. Everything you've learned, everything you've done, everything you have applied has gotten you to where you are in this exact moment. That next level is gonna take more. You can't beat that. You can't change that, manipulate it, work your way around it. There's no cheat code. There's no, shortcut. There's nothing. It's going to require more from you. And this is where people hit a wall. This is where they hit a wall. And they want to sit down and frump out and be mad about where they aren't, what isn't happening, the income they're not making, stressed or frustrated because things have gone backwards or business has slowed or teams have quit or numbers have dropped or checks have changed, failing to recognize that those changes were a direct result of something they did not do, something that changed within them. And this is where we have to put on our big girl pants and our big boy pants and take responsibility. Well, of course, things aren't what they were because I am not showing up like I was. It is that simple. It really is that simple. I will give you a super relevant example. I was working out with a personal trainer. When the pandemic happened and the gyms closed, I let myself have 9 months of whatever. And then I was like, oh my gosh, I literally have undone 6 years of progress in the gym, my own physical endurance, stamina, everything. I've undone it by being just lazy and making excuses and blaming the pandemic for a reason why to not go work out and all that stuff. So I got a trainer. And I worked out with this trainer initially 1 day a week until I had the strength to bump to 2 days a week. And then when I had a speaking engagement or something coming up, I would, for 4 to 6 weeks, increase it to 3 days a week. But I'm doing really focused, weightlifting. And if you follow me on social media, then you've seen some of those videos. You've seen those posts, me lifting weights in my bedroom and sharing that journey along with all of you. And, with schedules and kids and travel and things of that nature, I thought to myself, well, I have the weights. I've learned all I need to learn about all this. I could just totally do it myself. I'm having trouble committing time to this training schedule with everything that's going on. And I let go of my trainer, whom I love and adore, by the way. And if you want her, she's amazing. And just DM me and I'll totally give you her info. She lives in New York and she's just a baddie in every way. But I still work out, taking Pilates and doing bar and all of those types of things. But I've noticed that because I'm not weightlifting with the same regimen, the same schedule, and the same style of weights and the same workout, that I am not making the same amount of progress at the same speed. That I don't have the same level of definition in certain, areas of my body that I once had before based on what I was doing. Now, I can't blame anyone or anything but myself because I'm the one that made the change, which also means I can make another change to move that. I can easily create a system for myself, a schedule for myself. And believe me, I've had every intention to do it, but I've also made every excuse as to why I don't need to worry about it right now. And I'm sitting here even in my studio, AKA closet, looking in this mirror that I have here so I could talk to myself when recording these episodes. And man, I really wish that muscle was still there. That cut line is not there. And I can wish all that I want, but I'm going to have to work for it. And guys, you're going to have to work for that next level. And in fact, you're going to have to work harder and you're going to have to work more. It's going to require a different level of work ethic from you. That next level is always going to require more. So, as you're listening, I want you to look at where you are, where your business is, where your team is, where your mindset is, where your income is, and ask yourself if this is where you want to be. Is this what you worked for? Or did you have a different vision for it all? If the answer is what I would assume to be the obvious, then we need to have a heart-to-heart. That new level of success, that next level in the journey, that next level of leadership for you, That next level of your evolution will not be achieved with who you currently are and what you're currently doing. It's going to require so much more. And of course, right? This is where you're like, ugh, why does it take more? Because it has to. It has to. You got to prove it. You got to prove that you deserve the success on the other side of the effort, right? Like you got to prove to yourself all the time. Of course, it's much easier to climb back into the comfort cave, but the pain of regret, ought to keep you out. Please stop running from your fears. Stop running from pain, from the discomfort. Stop blaming and pointing fingers at others for your failures. Take responsibility and face it all head on, because as I say often, nothing changes if nothing changes. And if you aren't changing it, my friend, you are choosing it. If you are not working to change it, you are choosing it. And I don't know about you. Well, maybe I do. But I know you wouldn't choose struggle. I know you wouldn't choose failure. I know you wouldn't choose defeat. I know you wouldn't choose complacency. I know you wouldn't choose regressing over progressing. Like, I know you wouldn't choose what you're currently in, the turmoil you're currently facing. You want to know how I know you wouldn't choose it? Because you worked yourself out of it before. Because you wanted out of that before. We don't choose the things that suck. We don't choose the hard things over and over and over. We don't do that. Once you eat bad Chinese, you don't eat it at that Chinese restaurant again. Once you've gone beyond it, you don't go back. So let me give you 5 ways that you can really elevate your success in your leadership. First of all, cultivate a growth mindset. Please work to start embracing challenges. Embracing challenges as opportunities to learn and grow. That challenge has come along to change you. Embrace it, learn from it, grow because of it. Start to view your failures as stepping stones towards success. It's okay if you didn't get it right the first time. It's okay if it didn't go like you planned or you thought. That gives us the opportunity to make those necessary adjustments. And sometimes those bring out those new levels of ourselves. Seek out new skills and knowledge to continually expand your capabilities. Put a growth plan in place for yourself. Second, expand your vision. Challenge the status quo by envisioning possibilities beyond the present. If you continue to think small, you're going to continue to live small. We've got to expand our vision and our possibilities. Set your ambitions, yet achievable goals. Set ambitions, yet achievable goals that align with your long-term vision. Ambitious, yet achievable. That is the secret sauce. Ambitious means it scares you a little bit. Achievable means you can build a strategy around it and get there. Surround yourself with diverse perspectives to broaden your outlook, increase your community, level up your circle of influence, get around people and get into conversations with people who are doing what you want to do, who are living how you want to live. That's how you expand your vision. Number 3, challenge your belief system. Identify and question limiting beliefs that you hold that are probably holding you back. Replace your self-doubt with empowering affirmations and positive self-talk. Oh my gosh. Stop talking yourself out of your dreams, out of your aspirations, out of your own capabilities, and start talking yourself into them. Could you imagine the power that we could unleash in this world? If 1, we did that. If 2, we taught that concept. Stop talking yourself out of things and start talking yourself into things. Yes, you can. Yes, you will. Remember that, adopt it, believe it, and do it. Cultivate a belief in your ability to overcome challenges and achieve your goals. Cultivate a belief in your ability to overcome challenges. Know that when a challenge comes your way, that you are equipped and skilled to overcome it. And don't just know that, but believe that. Number 4, Focus on continuous learning and adaptability. Stay curious, my friends, and commit to a lifelong journey of learning. Embrace change and view it as an opportunity for growth. Be adaptable in your approach to challenges, adjusting your strategies as needed. And lastly, number 5, build a supportive network. Surround yourself with people who inspire, challenge, and support you. Life hack. I'm going to give it to you right here. Make a list. Who are the people in my life that inspire me? And if you don't have people, go find people. Who in my life challenges me? Challenges me to do more, to become more. Write their names down. Get closer to them. Who are those people that support you, that clap for you, that cheer for you, that don't question you? They celebrate you. Write their names down. Get closer to those people. Seek mentorship from those who have achieved success in areas you aspire to achieve success in. Contribute to a positive and growth-oriented community. Oh my gosh, this community alone is so incredible. The Brewing Success community is absolutely incredible. Put yourself in circles that are going to elevate your life. Here are 3 reasons why you must do this. Elevation matters because it's going to, 1, allow you to break free from stagnancy. Elevation propels you forward, breaking the chains of stagnancy and allowing for continuous evolution. We are evolving species. Stop fighting the evolution of yourself. It's going to allow you to escape the trap of complacency. Comfort zones might feel cozy and nice and warm and amazing and safe, but they can become traps, and we know this. Elevation ensures that you stay hungry for growth and success. There's something really incredible that happens to you when you start to live on the edge of that comfort zone. When you start to tiptoe outside of that and tiptoe toward who you are supposed to become. And lastly, you'll experience fulfillment. Elevation brings a sense of purpose and fulfillment as you witness the tangible results of your elevated mindset and actions. My call to action to you today is to elevate yourself. Elevate your mindset, elevate your energy, elevate your thoughts, your actions, your beliefs. Do the things that I just shared with you. Put them into action. Commit to the journey of elevation. It's not just about reaching new heights, but discovering the limitless potential within you. Challenge yourself. Believe in your capacity for greatness. Let your success soar to unprecedented levels. Stop stopping yourself and get out of your own way. Life is too short, and you have a dream to pursue and a purpose to fulfill. You guys, thank you so much for joining me here today on another episode of Brewing Success. I hope you feel energized and elevated after today's episode. And if it resonated with you, and if it spoke to your soul, your entrepreneurial spirit, and that leader developing inside of you, please do me a favor. Write a review, jump on social, give us a share, go to the page, let us know what you love. Put this episode in the hands of the people that you want to inspire and whose lives you want to contribute to and help elevate.